Good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Fun times. It wasn't too crazy as far as the news say. It was, I think we're still in this calm, the calm before the storm. We're definitely not in the storm yet, but I think it's going to be coming on pretty quick. There were a lot of things that I think a lot of nations and what have you wanted to get out of the way, like the holidays, for instance. We all know that politicians wanted to get the midterm elections out of the way. Now with all that stuff behind us and, looking into 2023 with a fresh slate, so to speak, I really think that agendas are going to be pushed forward heavily. And I think that includes, everything from Russia, Ukraine to China, Taiwan, Israel, Iran, possibly North Korea, South Korea. I just really do think that things are going to open up. But, again, it hasn't yet. And I don't have a whole lot of news, actually. I think I've only got 3 tabs. I've got 3 tabs open to discuss. And then the headlines. I figured make it an easy night and hope for the best. Like I said, I just have a feeling that this is the calm before the storm. As for the thumbnail and, the title of the show, Greta Thunberg was arrested in Germany. And if you didn't know, that is her that somehow spawned the Thug Life glasses and a joint and the Thug Life lettering above her. I don't know how that happened. I just got the image as you see it there. And then just magically that other stuff fell on the image, and I thought, well, I don't need to edit it, and so just made the thumbnail. But anyway, that is what that is what that is from. So she was arrested today. Nothing real major as far as moves that I am aware of was made. Now, when I say that, understand that there are multiple militaries that are moving equipment at a pretty alarming rate. So even though I'm saying not a lot of movement in the news today, I'm talking about on the surface. There's still a lot of gears turning in the back end of things. And I really do think that they're building up a sizable force, not only with manpower, but also with the equipment. And I think they're funneling right now. I think they are funneling equipment over there. Anyway, let's go ahead and hop onto it. Greta Thunberg arrested in Germany. The Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg was arrested in western Germany on Tuesday. Reporters captured the moment Thunberg was carried away by riot police officers during a protest against the expansion of a coal mine in Lutz-Erith, North Rhine-Westphalia. Wow. Really? Phalia, right in the name. Located between Aachen and Dusseldorf, the village is currently scheduled for relocation in order to expand the nearby Garzweiler lignite mine. A police spokesperson in nearby Aachen told the media that Thunberg was part of a group of protesters that stormed the perimeter of the mine and approached the edge of the dig, described by the authorities as steep and extremely dangerous. I mean, it would have been a shame if she would have fell over the edge. In photographs and videos that quickly, and I don't really mean that, but, this is nonsense, I played that short clip, the famous clip of her How dare you? Earlier today. And it's ridiculous. The level of brainwashing that is given to these children, and then they turn around and unleash the children on the public to try to guilt them into believing the propaganda that they started to begin with. It's a tactic that is used by psychopaths time and time again throughout history, using children. In fact, that's why I shy away from anything where people are talking about the protection of children, and because let me tell you what, more often than not, any type of program, anything related with children, and you have to be very careful, because there are some very bad individuals that seek positions in organizations and what have you like that, so that they can exploit the kids. It's a shame. All of this is a shame. What's been done to the children of the nations around the world is a shame. And I think it's borderline, if not completely, crossing over into criminal. This ordeal with Greta, I guess they expect everybody to feel sorry for her. I guess they expect everybody to automatically just apply themselves and their opinions in line with hers because she took one for the team. I guess. I don't know. But to me, this isn't much more than just another photo op. And when was it again the last time that we could trust these men here? When was the last time? Yeah, I don't trust the government or its employees, nor do I trust a child that was brainwashed. And I'm telling you, this whole climate thing, they are really going to push. And they are going to attach, just like they did with racism, they're going to attach as much as they can as possible to racism, climate denial, whatever. Just wait and see. EU sets up nuclear stockpile on Russian border. Let's see. And I've known that this was happening. The European Commission announced on Tuesday that it will set up the first strategic reserve of equipment and supplies available to any EU member in response to potential chemical or nuclear incidents. The stockpile will be located in Finland within easy reach of the Baltic states. European Commissioner for Crisis Management Janez Lenarčič said that the conflict in Ukraine confirmed the need to set up the stockpile, which will provide the EU with a significant safety net enabling a quick and coordinated response at EU level. The hoard will include critical medical countermeasures, according to Euronews, including vaccines and antidotes, medical devices, and field response equipment needed to respond to biological, radiological, and nuclear accidents. In theory, the facility should be able to send supplies within 12 hours of the affected member accepting the EU offer of help. Brussels has approved 242 million euros, or $261 million, in funding for the program, aiming to have the reserve ready for use by 2024. Individual countries do not have sufficient measurement capacity and expert resources to respond to large-scale radiation accidents, Karim Peltonen, director of Finland's Radiation and Nuclear Safety Authority, told Euronews. EU authorities say their goal is to ensure that capabilities and response teams can be deployed anywhere on the continent, while locating the depot in Finland, which shares a 1,300-kilometer border with Russia, may seem baffling in that context. Finnish Interior Minister Krista Mikkonen said this will enable the EU to respond to different kinds of threats, especially in Northern Europe and the Baltic Sea region. So there's a lot of craziness that is starting to unfold. I think it's really important to pay attention to which countries are picking more or less which side, because there's some obvious swapping going on here. And I'm going to be honest. I don't think in the end the U.S. is going to have as many people, nearly as many countries behind it as what they hope for. I think a lot of countries are going to bail. I mean, look at what's happening in Europe and the UK. They're in bad enough shape as it is now. We'll see. Let's see. And then I've got this one here, and Southern Prepper 1 did a video talking about this. I went and found one of the articles. Apparently another power substation was hit with gunfire overnight. This was in Thomasville, North Carolina. It says here, an Energy United substation was hit by gunfire overnight, according to the Randolph County Sheriff's Office. Deputies responded to a vandalism call at a power substation on Post Road early Tuesday morning. A representative of Energy United reported the attack to the company, allowing them to assess the damage. Criminal investigations and crime scene investigators responded to the scene to investigate and collect evidence at the site. The Federal Bureau of Investigations and the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigations were also notified. Investigators recovered evidence from the scene and canvassed the surrounding areas, gathering additional information. Based on the information gathered, investigators believe the incident occurred around 3 a.m. The investigation is ongoing. Energy United officials released the following statement. Energy United continually strives to deliver safe, reliable energy to its members, said Steve McCatron, Vice President of the Energy Delivery for Energy United. While we are glad that our members did not experience any service interruptions, we take this matter very seriously and are currently investigating the incident. Energy United reports that the area of service from the affected substation includes Trinity, Thomasville, and areas of Davidson County south of Thomasville. The Randolph County Board of Commissioners, County Manager's Office, and Davidson County Sheriff's Office were therefore contacted for emergency planning in the event of an outage in that area. Anyone with information regarding the incident is supposed to contact Randolph County Sheriff's Office, Criminal Investigations, and it gives the number and that info there for that. So I think you're going to see a lot more of this. I think some of it is going to be kind of copycat kind of stuff on the smaller scale. Probably, I would say that that's a good chance what this was. If it's anybody that remotely knows what they're doing, they're gonna cause a service interruption. For somebody to fail to do so would tell me that they don't know what transformers they need to hit or whatever the case may be. Yep, we've got everything. The only thing we don't have from Amazon yet is the last potato shreds we ordered, so It could be into next month before we get those potato shreds. But yeah, other than that, it got the fuel can and the caps and stuff, nozzles. Let's see. Have a sip of coffee. We right before I started the show, I started watching the first episode of a new series called The Last of Us. I don't know yet at 12 minutes 45 seconds in if I'm gonna like it or not. Probably I'm thinking probably not so much. Because if I'm mistaken, it kind of involves something kind of similar to zombie type stuff, and I'm not much into zombie type stuff. I just really ain't. It's been so overplayed, and to be honest, and for me, in my opinion, was never not that interesting to begin with. The whole zombie thing. The reason why so long on the potato shreds, they said that out of the gate, so it's not like they've delayed anything, because they were selling a ton of those potato shreds, and they would sell them at like the good price at $8.14. Well, I think that there are sellers on Amazon that have several accounts, and I think what they do is I think they go and buy up a bunch of these cans of potato shreds, and then what they do is they wait until Augustin Farms runs out of selling the potato shreds, which you get at a good deal. Then they turn around, jack the price up. Hang on. I will pull it up. Oops. Got the wrong one. Let's see. Potato shreds. Let me pop this in here. Okay, let's see what they have to say for buying options. Yeah, $22 at this particular moment in time. $22 is the cheapest that you can buy a can of Augustin Farm potato shreds. And those you'll get rather quick. You can get them tomorrow. However, for those of us that ordered them when they were at $8.14, we have to wait until I guess it's Augustin Farms that ships them, and then we'll get them. But that's just the way it is. And what I've been telling folks right now, while the potato shreds are high, they've also got, and I want to get in on some of these. We haven't gotten in on any of these. They've also got potato slices. So, and those are right now $9.99 for a can. So, if you missed out on the potato shreds and you still want in on something, this is potato, slices. And it's not got the crazy wait times either. They say free delivery tomorrow. If I'd ordered this can right now. So, it is what it is. But that's why we knew when we placed the order that it was going to be, 1 to 2 months out is what they said. And so it's just kind of one of those deals where you get in line. Yeah, they are absolutely delicious. I love them. And I think that they are a great addition to a food storage, and I would imagine the potato slices will be just as well, so I plan to get some of those. Let's see. Alright. Run through some headlines here, and then, I don't know, I might try to finish watching that episode this evening. So far, it's not turned me away too bad, but we're not that far into it yet, so. Let's see. Yeah, powdered mashed potatoes is really good. That's something that I wish we had more of. I don't know if what you just get in the box has a good shelf life on it. You could probably increase the shelf life by vacuum sealing it. I don't know. I don't know if they have mashed potatoes or not. If they've got powder mix for like long-term storage, I don't even know. You would think you could do that. So, and there again, you can always hydrate these potatoes and mash them. Let's see. Have a couple of vapes. Pink Starburst. I will say though it's not as good as Sherb from Jimmy the Juice Man. So that's some awesome stuff. If you like sherbet ice cream, it's like vaping sherbet ice cream. It's delicious. Top U.S. general inspects Ukrainian troops. Offshore gas deposit discovered in Egypt. Russia reaps bumper grain harvest, says data. Yeah, that's kind of what I like. It's just those little individual packages that you just, it seems to be a perfect amount for a couple of people. Same is true for a lot of stuff like cornbread mix and all that. I usually just get the little bags because it's perfect for us. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I did say that one. Russian defense minister visits frontline headquarters. Russia boosts LNG exports, says deputy PM. Big Pharma lobbied to censor calls for affordable COVID-19 vaccines, because, of course, we want those affordable. EU countries' top diplomat warns against overkill in Russia sanctions. Let's see. Turkey teases massive Ukraine-Russia prisoner swap. Germany's new defense minister named, says Spiegel. Top Zelensky aide resigns amid apartment block blast uproar. EU leaves back door open for sanctioned Russian oil, says Bloomberg. Ukrainian tried to enter EU carrying weapons, says media. Turkey labels NATO applicant a terrorist propaganda center. A new meeting with CIA Burns possible, says Russian spy chief. Food prices in Austria skyrocket, says data. India's imports of Russian oil increased 33 times, says data. Kremlin explains boost in army strength. Tanks UK sending to Ukraine won't make significant difference, says MP. Oops. And I would tend to agree with him because they're not sending that many. And, well, they ain't sending that many. A Russian economy doing much better than expected, says Putin. Russia's top spy explains why Ukrainian crisis remains deadlocked. Talking about this whole Russia-Ukraine thing, I'm not going to out anybody or anything, but I listen to other people talking about this conflict, and I've made this comment before, and I just feel the need to make it again because, well, there are some people that are covering news on YouTube and talking about the Russia Ukraine conflict. And again, I'm not going to out the channel because I actually really respect and like the channel. But I think they get their news from Western news sources not much better than, say, CNN. Because to hear them talk about it, Russia's really struggling and not getting anywhere. And I realize that I share a lot of RT, Russia Today news. I get that. But I also look at other news sources to verify what I'm seeing on Russia Today. Why would I not use Russia Today when it's a one-stop shop and it's accurate 99.9% of the time? Why would I use another? So again, they have to be getting their news from Western media, but they present it as if Russia's barely hanging on. And I'm pretty sure that's not how things are going down. So, and again, I'm pretty sure that anytime old Putin wanted to put a boot down and put an end to it, he could do it pretty well overnight. But I don't think it's his intent. You know, that was the other part of the commentary about it, was, you know, how evil, horrible Putin, and I'm not saying he's a great guy. I'm not defending Putin. That's not what I'm doing here. I don't choose a side. But at the same time, I'm also not going to propagandize one side because it's the side I want to win. I don't want them to be fighting, but I'm not a decision maker in any of that. So I'm not gonna pick a side because killing people is wrong. And that's just all there is to it. I don't have a dog in the fight whatsoever. I don't think we should be paying for it. I don't think we should be involved in it. But, you know, Zelensky's not a good guy. The Ukrainian government is not a good government. That's what I don't understand. And I'm not saying, again, I'm not defending Putin. I'm not saying Putin's good. I am saying that I'm not a fan of either. Let's see. Production of upgraded iconic Russian rifle kicks off in India. Hundreds of police officers suspected of sex offenses, says Scotland Yard. EU sanctions goal is to crush Russian economy, says von der Leyen. Half of citizens in 9 EU nations want quick end to Ukraine conflict, says a poll. I'm sure they're tired of paying all the high prices for everything, especially energy. A Russian ex-president blasts Davos Forum. Far-right group on trial over Macron assassination plot. Putin allows sanctioned Russian firms to disregard shareholders from unfriendly states. German leaders list defense... German leaders list new defense minister's strengths. A company sued for $1 billion over Van Gogh's sunflowers. And I actually read that article just because I wanted to understand what was up. So apparently a wealthy Jewish banker owned this painting back in the 30s. He had to sell the painting because Jewish people were being forced to give up more or less any of their assets and whatnot. So he had to sell the painting. Some company bought the painting. I think it was a company, but it was a museum, I guess, as well. But they had bought the painting like back in 1987. And I don't know who had it in between and all that. But nonetheless, It's been on display for like 30-something years, 37 years, something like that, on display at a museum. And now the family of this Jewish banker that owned it back in the 30s, the banker that sold it, is wanting them to give it back to them. And if they don't give it back to them, I think over $1.5 billion in total they want to sue for, if I'm not mistaken. It's insane. It is insane. I don't know what to tell this family. I feel sorry for them, but that Jewish banker sold that painting in the 30s. Somebody else had bought that painting from that Jewish banker. I don't know who that was. But in 87, someone else had bought that painting and put it on display in a museum, and it's been there ever since for everyone to be able to appreciate. And I personally, I'm much more in favor of that than it being put in somebody's private collection not to be seen. Which is exactly, by the way, which would happen to it if they gave up the painting. I guarantee it. I just think that's kind of unreal. So, I don't know. Probably never hear anything more involving that, but just kind of grabbed me. Russia moves to end European treaties. Russian monopoly watchdog slaps Apple with massive fine. I covered that. Kanye West's lawyers to use one simple trick to ditch him, says media. I guess they've been trying to contact him and can't contact him. So I guess now they're going to put out ads, or talking about putting out ads or something like that, I guess, to let him know that they are more or less quitting. China reveals surprising population numbers. Kissinger offers updated Ukraine plan, because it's good to know that he's the one making the decisions there. EU sets up nuclear... Oh, I covered that. Sorry. And I covered the substation incident. And that would be it. I know, tons of excitement and just massive amounts of news. I told you, there wasn't really a whole lot. But that's okay. Cherish whatever peace we can get, because I think when this ball starts really rolling downhill, it's going to be not ending for a while. Anyway, I am going to get out of here. I think I'm going to try to finish watching that episode. And God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll talk about some more nonsense, and maybe I can come up with another stupid thumbnail for the show. So, anyway, I am out of here. I appreciate y'all coming. God willing, we'll be here tomorrow, and hopefully I'll see you again. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit, and shalom.